What is going on, y'all? GoofyRhexxi here, and hope everybody is well. We are in week 11 of the beginner series, our Assemble beginner series here. Gotta be honest with you, I'm having a lot of fun with it right now. Progressing to where I think that we should. We're playing it a little bit casually, of course, so we're not progressing as fast as maybe you might, because it's your main account here, but I'm definitely enjoying it a lot. But let's dive into it, guys. So we started Cosmic. I think we mentioned that last week, right? Started Cosmic. So far right now, we've been able to get through most of the first two chapters. This is actually the last one that we have to do now for, chapter 2. And it's been pretty easy. It's been very smooth. We've been able to 3-star every single, campaign node. This one obviously is going to be very important, right? Being able to 3-star that stature node, is going to be important later on for us. Right now, not incredibly important because we don't need her on the roster, so I'm not going to be diverting and target farming stature at the moment. Just not a necessary character for where we are in the game. But got through most of the second chapter here, got to this node. I believe that we're going to be able to get through this one fairly easy. Our team is pretty powered up, and if you guys remember, this is who we're using on the roster right now for Cosmic. We're using Thor, Captain Marvel, Minerva, Sif, and then Mordo. 3 of these characters are actually a part of my arena team right now. So Thor, Minerva, and Sif. If you guys remember that team, right? We're using Thor, Minerva, Sif, Captain America, and then we're also using Hulk. Very good team that has been able to help me to stay under 500 in arena, which ultimately was my goal. Only being able to do 2, maximum 3 attacks in arena. So yeah, going pretty well, as far as I am concerned. Now, some other campaigns that we're going through, kind of like our focuses right now, are really just making sure that we're able to climb through campaigns. So that's Cosmic campaign. We're gotten further. This node right here, Nexus 5-9 for the Nexus campaign. This one was a very difficult node for us, and you're only facing Ultimus. But the problem is that my team, a lot of my characters are really like 3-star. Some of them have 0 red stars or 1 red star, so we just don't necessarily have the power to really kind of punch through it. We were able to 2-star it, not 3-star, or we lost Sif like right at the end. Ultimus Rex taunt, characters that protectors, he Rex protectors. So it didn't go very well. Eventually we'll want to come back and 3-star this node. Not necessarily for Mr. Fantastic himself, but really because we want to be able to farm bio gear, because we're definitely going to need a lot of bio gear later on, because a lot of the characters in this game that are good are bio. And of course, we know with this new flex of mutants, there are also a lot of good mutant characters too. But yes, bio gear is going to be, one of them. We're going to need to find it every possible way that we can get it. So we're going to need to make sure that we 3-star that node, eventually. But yeah, every day we're essentially just chipping away, at these campaigns. Nexus campaign, we're going to be chipping away at the Cosmic campaign. And then future, we're hoping that we're going to be able to start going into the Mystic campaign. We don't have characters that can do this yet, but we'll talk about, who I'm going to be going after moving forward here to try to get the Mystic campaign going. We'll talk about some of the characters that I'm thinking about. For arena, if you kind of want to know where I'm at in terms of ranking, we're at 404 right now in ranking. Like I said, really only trying to stay under 500. That's really kind of like my goal, is to be able to stay under 500 so that I can get these rewards, which is essentially at payout, just being able to get those 500 credits. That goes a long way for me to being able to farm who I want to farm, being able to get over 225 shards a month, for a particular character. That's essentially what I need. Now, in terms of the other stores, we talked last week, right, about whether or not, I asked you guys the question, should I start target farming now in the Blitz store? And a lot of you guys said, yes, I should definitely start target farming. So that is what we are doing right now in the Blitz store. We are target farming Rhino, and we're very close with him. We're about halfway, to 5-stars. So we should be able to get done with Rhino. I would say probably within the next maybe week to 2 weeks, if I'm predicting right. We should be able to get, the 55 shards that we need to be able to get that done. And then we're going to move on to Electro. We want to be able to get the Sinister 6 farm done, because we want to be able to move on to start target farming some other characters like Toad, who we're going to use to unlock Magneto, things like that. So we're definitely going to want to make sure that we're target farming. Blitz Sim has definitely helped out a lot, because while I'm not, ranking up with the other players that are in this game now, at the very least, I'm still able to get a lot of Blitz credits that are needed. As you can see, I've already farmed, Rhino today, and I have 1,760 credits left. I could farm, Electro right now, but I want to make sure that I'm at least target farming and getting Rhino 2 to 3 times a day. So I'm saving these credits right now. We actually just did a Blitz rotation not too long ago, so we're able to get a lot more credits and complete our dailies. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to continue to target farm Rhino here, get that done, and then we're going to go, we're going to really be intense about making sure that we get Electro completed as well, because we did miss Invisible Woman, and I want to set myself up to be able to get Shuri if possible, or at the very least in another month and a half, because we're going to be seeing Invisible Woman and, showing up a little bit more frequently now. At least another 7 weeks from now, I want to be able to unlock Invisible Woman moving forward. For the raid store, we're absolutely still opening up orbs for the raid store. But what I'm doing is that whenever I'm over the amount, I go ahead and I open up some orbs. Actually, we got a raid orb right now. So let's open this sucker up. So there we go. We're getting hand sentry. Don't need them right now, but Relic Hunt, we're probably gonna want to consider that a little bit more later on. But yeah, what I'm doing right now is that I'm opening up orbs if I am over 1,400. I want to make sure that I'm at least keeping 1,400 credits left here, so that way if Zemo does show up in the store, at least I'm able to target farm him there. And like I said, I'm opening up orbs predominantly, or primarily I should say, but I do try to keep 1,400 because I want to be able to grab Zemo if he's here. And you might say, well, why do that? Zemo is going to be very impactful on my roster right now, so I want to try to get him. Zemo is going to be great, a usable character for me in Arena, later on for RTA once I get to level 64. And then, of course, for that villains campaign as well, when I do get to level 70, I'm going to be able to use Zemo on a hybrid Sinister 6 team so that I can get through the first nodes in the Villains Chapter 7, and then, of course, being able to then truck along and try to find, mystic villain characters that I can use, for the 7-4, 7-5, and then, of course, 7-6, 3, hopefully 3-star in that 7-6 node, so that I can farm Hela and be on my way to getting Black Bolt and then eventually being able to get Phoenix, right? So that's the goal, and Zemo is going to be extremely impactful where that is concerned. For Arena, we are still farming Juggernaut right now. We unlock Blob, and we're farming Juggernaut right now to get him unlocked as well. As a matter of fact, not even just unlocked, we're going to be farming Juggernaut all the way up to 5 stars, and then we're going to circle back around and farm Blob and get him up to 5 stars as well. Jugs, I think, is an amazing tank. I think even outside of that, actually, as a matter of fact, I think he's a better tank outside of that BH 2.0 team with Magneto. And the reason why is because he doesn't, Magneto forces Juggernaut to speed through his taunt because he speeds up the Brotherhood team. So Juggernaut will speed through his taunt a little bit quicker. So I actually think Juggernaut is a better tank outside, or better protector, outside of the team. But also, thinking about the Mystic campaign, he's a character that I can use for the Mystic campaign. Also for that villains campaign where you're going to need Mystic villains to be able to beat that Hela node. Juggernaut is going to be is a part of my plan here to being able to use them for that Mystic villain section, of that villains, of the villains campaign. So that's the reason why, I'm going after Juggernaut first, getting him to 5 stars, because I want to be able to use him in some of those other key areas, moving forward. Now, there are also, for the War Store too, obviously, as you can see, still farming Sif. That's my main farm right now. And then Minerva, I just want to be able to get her to 3 stars. That's it. 3 stars for me. I'm going to be using her in raids. We're doing U6 right now. I want to be able to contribute at a better in raids, so therefore I'm trying to get her to 3 stars just so I can, do better where that is concerned. The celebration event is going on right now, so I am definitely making sure that I can farm them as much as I possibly can. I am also opening up these, even though I don't need anything from these orbs right now, the Orange Gear War Store orbs, I am opening them up because the Cosmic Essence event is going on, or the event where you're getting Cosmic Essences from opening up these orbs is active right now. So therefore, I want to make sure that I'm also, at least contributing and getting as many rewards as possible, even though a lot of these rewards I don't need right now in terms of dark matter. I don't need them right now, but I definitely will need them later. It will be great and nice to get a 3, red star blob. That would be absolutely great for me. It would be nice to get some extra shards, for some characters, get some extra orbs, that I could open up for trading mats. There's a lot of really good things that are here. So I am doing as much blitzing as I possibly can with my 4, Blitz rotation, my 4 teams for Blitz to make sure that I'm able to get all the resources that I possibly can here. So yeah, that's pretty much where that is concerned. Now, there are some characters that I do have on my radar that I've unlocked that I have not invested into yet, but I want to talk about those and kind of just the way I'm thinking about, moving forward. So if we go back to my roster here, there is Mr. Sinister. I just unlocked Mr. Sinister literally probably today. I just unlocked Mr. Sinister and I started working on putting some gear into him. I got him to level 45, gear tier 8. Eventually I'm going to build him up a little bit higher than that. I don't want to specifically use him right now, to do anything, like anything that I specifically need, but he was actually able to help me out in one of the challenges to be able to 3-star that so that I could, it was the challenge for the catalyst, like your premium ore catalyst and then your basic ore catalyst. He was actually able to help me to 3-star that, so he's usable there. But even more than that, he's going to be helpful for me in arena. He's also going to, even though I don't have Emma, he can be used on a Marauders team. So I do find value, for Mr. Sinister there. And then obviously Dark Dimension, he's going to be very good in Dark Dimension, in every single Dark Dimension, Dark Dimension 2, Dark Dimension 3, Dark Dimension 4. And eventually when I get him to 6 stars, he'll be good for Dark Dimension 1. But by that time, I'll already completed Dark Dimension 1 with other characters, right? But the point is, since the Sinister is a very good character in this game, so therefore he's on my radar for a character that I can definitely use. There is also Ghost, who I have unlocked. Obviously, we got that through the Reminisce Shake It celebration, so Ghost is also on my radar as well. She's situationally a plug and play character. She's a character I can also use in challenges. I think she's a top 10 character in this game, so there's definitely value for her. She's great in Dark Dimensions. Once again, all Dark Dimensions, so therefore she's also on my radar as well. And there's a few other things that I'm thinking about too, there's Hero Brawlers. Now, Hero Brawlers are not a great team, but there is value in some of these Hero Brawlers that I can use. So I have Miss Marvel, already on my roster. There's CM. CM is probably going to be without a team for a little bit, and I definitely want to still be able to utilize her. So I might build out a Hero Brawlers team. Now, a Hero Brawlers team, I know, not a fantastic team, but when you're free to play, you're trying to use what you have available, for you, because you can't buy certain things, right? You're basically dependent on luck and grind. You're dependent on luck and grind. That's pretty much basically, what this is. So a Hero Brawlers team would make sense. I need more Blitz teams, that I can use, on my roster, so probably I have her built out to level 20 right now. Eventually I'll get her to 45 and gear tier 7, mainly for my main teams that I'm using. I'm bringing them out to 60 and gear tier 10, and with their abilities at 6 to 6'4". But the point is, a Hero Brawlers team could definitely be helpful. Miss Marvel, Psylocke, who I'm going to be able to use later on an Uncanny X-Men team. Miles is a great kit-based character that you can use. America Chavez is a mystic character that if I don't have an Asgardian team, I can at least use America Chavez and then have her on a Hero Brawlers team that can be usable, somewhere later. And obviously we already talked about CM. Also, alternatively, I do have some Hero City characters. And in order for me to be able, once I get to level 70, in order to be able to even access Villain 7, I am going to need to use some Hero City characters, Miss Marvel, to complete Heroes 7-1. I have to complete Hero 7-1 before I can do Villains, 7-1. So Miss Marvel is a Hero City character, so building her out would make sense. I also have Squirrel Girl, as a character that I'm going to be keeping on my radar. Punisher is also a good character. Spider-Man Miles, again, is also a really good character. And even Night Nurse potentially could be unlocked as well, and then later on used, to get through some of that, that information, some of those game modes as well. But this is kind of like my thought process. Obviously, I'm going to kind of go through a little bit more, later on in regards to kind of like what I'm thinking and what to do and, what I think may work best. I'm free to play on this account. So like I said, I have to be mindful that I have to use what I have available to me. I have to use what I get lucky with. I have to use what, you know, options I have available to me through farming or things of that nature. So, you know, that's kind of what I am doing right now. I'm planning things out. You know, once orange gear becomes available for me in the store, what I'm going to be doing is that I am going to be focusing on, you know, doing other things like, you know, grabbing the orange uniques, the hero uniques that I need for the characters, or, you know, the mini uniques that I need for those characters. I'm going to be doing that, you know, in the store. I'm currently in an alliance that's rating and they're doing very well, you know, as far as I'm concerned. Doing U6 difficulty 3. We're getting good rewards right now. Although I can't do much in those raids, at least I'm getting the T2s and the T3s, which is the reason why I've been able to build out some of my characters already, you know, with their abilities at 6/6/4, and that is helping me to progress. But listen, let me know if you guys have any questions about anything. Hopefully this was helpful for you. I know it's a little bit longer of a video this week, but I wanted to kind of just go through sort of like my process, my thought process, and how I'm going about building this roster, you know, how I'm going about, you know, trying to secure and plan out, you know, certain campaign nodes. So hopefully this was a helpful video for you guys, but appreciate you guys watching. As of course, we're going to continue to do this. Make sure that you guys catch me on the streams when I do this live too on Wednesday nights. I do this at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so very much. You guys be blessed and y'all be safe.